welcome to the stage Executive Vice President and General Manager, Intuit QuickBooks, Sasan Goodarzi.
Wow! Good morning! Oh, come on! Good morning! Well, happy Monday and welcome to the 5th annual QuickBooks Connect. This will be an awesome 3 days. It's an incredible opportunity for you to connect with one another, learn from one another, and engage with some great speakers that will have incredible advice for you. So thank you for joining us. I am simply here to give you a warm welcome and introduce our next speaker. She's an incredible friend. She's a passionate leader, a product visionary, and responsible for our accountants around the globe. Please, a big round of applause for Arij.
Hi, folks. Thank you. I love you too. Oh my God. Welcome to QuickBooks Connect 2018. The energy is electric, and we've got 3 days of incredible content for you. My name is Arij Meshergi, and at Intuit, I lead a team of over 300 people that are entirely focused on helping you, accounting professionals around the world, grow and manage your practice. I have the honor of kicking things off here at QuickBooks Connect by sharing our QuickBooks Online accountant journey with you. And over the next 90 minutes, I'll also be sharing the Firm of the Future winner, and we'll hear from a magician turned entrepreneur. So let's get to it. It is just the coolest thing that I get to kick off QuickBooks Connect. Those of you who know me know that I absolutely love my job. I have to be real, though, public speaking isn't my favorite part. I actually lose sleep over this sort of thing. But to be honest, I love my job in this moment anyway, because I know what's coming for you over the next 3 days. I want to take a moment and welcome those of you who've never been to a QuickBooks Connect, for whom this is your first time. Thank you for coming and welcome. You're in for a treat. I also want to thank those accounting professionals who come back year after year after year. This is my 5th QuickBooks Connect, my 5th out of 5, and I look forward to it every single year. The next few days are going to be inspirational. QuickBooks Connect is rich with incredible content designed to help you grow. The content is truly excellent, but I think the most valuable part of this event are the connections that you make. This is a time for us to create connection among accounting professionals, small businesses who fear that the odds are stacked against them, and accounting professionals who can tip the odds in their favor, and developers who build products that solve important problems that you and your clients face. This element of connection is what excites me most. I think because I know what the absence of connection feels like. It's scary being an entrepreneur. It can be lonely. I was born in California to immigrant parents from North Africa. My parents fled for their lives and found themselves here starting over. My mom was 19, and my dad wasn't much older than that. This was before the era of the internet, and with international calls as expensive as they were cut off from their families almost completely. My parents started a small business to make a life for themselves here. They had no network and no guide. They were alone. Well, almost. They soon found themselves with 4 kids to feed. Growing up, I could tell when they struggled with cash flow based on the food that hit our dinner table. One thing I got out of that experience was a sense of entrepreneurship. I've started a few small businesses in my life. The first was to pay my way through college. It was a really rewarding experience, but it was also really tough. That feeling of having nobody to rely on but you, nobody to turn to but yourself. That feeling is really familiar to me. That's why I value the connection and the sense of community people get from QuickBooks Connect. We build community here, so none of us has to go through it alone. I was talking to Karen Woodman the other day. She's a former Firm of the Future winner, and I bet she's here. Karen, are you here? Where's Karen? There she is. Shout out to Karen. She was telling me that connecting with members of the accounting professional community is what she values most out of QuickBooks Connect too. She also told me that the thing that bonds many of the accounting professionals here is your deep and vested interest in your client's success and your optimism. And why shouldn't you be optimistic when for every net new accounting professional that enters the workforce every year, there are 500 new small businesses that need your advice, that need your help? The opportunity is clear. So don't look to the people to your left and to your right as your competition. Look at them as your support group. Karen also told me that her clients are starting to expect more from her than the normal bookkeeping work that she does. She's a really direct person, and she freely and confidently offers her advice. Her clients really value that about her. They see her as their advisor. Karen is experiencing at an individual level what we at Intuit are seeing as a macro trend around the world. With the mass adoption of cloud technology and the emergence of a new generation of business owners comes a shift in expectations for bookkeepers and accounting professionals. Here's how expectations are shifting. We live in an era where the answer to any question is at your fingertips. It then follows then that small businesses expect increasingly answers to any question that they have about their business instantly. And in addition to that, people view information as transient more and more, so they place less value in this old paradigm where your role was the steward of data. They now expect you to help them make sense of that data. Your clients are looking for concrete guidance, for you to sift through the noise of what they could do and help them focus on what they should do, giving them targeted advice to help them grow. Increasingly, they're turning to you for advice on technology too. So small business owners expect instant answers. They expect you to help them make sense of the numbers, and they're looking for targeted advice to help them grow. In short, they're looking for you to be their business and technology advisors. So how is the industry meeting these expectations? When we talk to small businesses, half of them think that their accounting professional is more reactive than proactive. And a third say their accountant doesn't give them advice on how to grow. And it's not just small businesses who feel this way. When we speak with accounting professionals, nearly half of you are concerned about your ability to adapt to your clients' evolving needs. And more than half are concerned about keeping up with new technology trends. While the industry is evolving and expectations are changing, know that we're in this with you. My team of over 300 very talented, very passionate, very ambitious people wake up every day with one goal in mind: to partner with you so that you and your clients grow and prosper. And we can't do that in isolation. No, we take a unique approach. We not only study industry trends, but we learn from small businesses, and we also learn from you, from speaking with you, from observing you as you get work done, and from connecting with you at events like this. We take all that information and we use it to inform what we're going to do next. And when I say we, I mean everyone in our organization, from engineers to designers to product managers to data scientists to leaders. We're here to learn from you. And when we do, when we learn from you, we're better positioned to partner with you. And when we partner with you, when we deliver the products and services you need to help your clients succeed, we both grow and prosper. With these industry trends in mind, I believe that Intuit is uniquely positioned to help accounting professionals move into that advisory role. 1 million accounting professionals around the world have chosen to partner with us through QuickBooks Online Accountant. 400,000 are members of our education and loyalty program, the Pro Advisor program. And an elite 140,000 are certified Pro Advisors. These are our most trusted partners, and we reward them accordingly. For them, we hold 750 training events in 50 cities worldwide and virtually to help you grow your skills. Our accountant community is thriving. In addition to having a thriving accounting professional community on QuickBooks, we have 3.4 million small business and self-employed in our ecosystem. 58% of them are connected to an accountant, and we are proud of that number. We work hard to get every small business that touches our ecosystem connected to a professional because we want them to prosper, and we know you can help them do that. We're obsessed with your growth. For the remaining small businesses who don't have a professional, and for every new small business that joins our ecosystem, 1 million of them search for a professional through Find a Pro Advisor, and every day we connect 1,000 of them with an accounting professional that meets their needs. All this power is behind helping you transition to that advisory role. Our vision for accounting professionals is to help you grow and manage all your clients across all the services you offer in one place. I'm about to dive into how we do this, and when I do, I hope that you'll see that we do this by understanding your needs and elevating your position. I'm going to start by talking about the challenge of managing your practice. What sets us apart here is that with QuickBooks, you manage your practice in the same place you get work done, on the QuickBooks ecosystem. And we use that word, ecosystem, when we're talking about applications that weave together seamlessly to deliver an even more powerful experience than any one of those applications could deliver on its own. What I'm about to show you is the perfect example of this. Many of you have shared with us that the most impactful way we can enable you to advise your clients is by giving you visibility into your client's performance. You saw Intuit acquire TSheets. Yeah, that's right. It's now a part of the QuickBooks Online ecosystem, along with QuickBooks Payroll. I am beyond delighted to announce to you, the people in this room for the first time ever, that we're putting the power of the ecosystem to work with Project Profitability. Now, when your clients who are job or project-based are interested in how their projects are performing, we're going to be able to show them a view into the profitability of each project. So let's say you're about to meet with a client and prepare yourself for a conversation. You want to dive into their books just to refresh yourself on what the top problems are that you guys need to work on together. Well, when you log in, you're going to land on your client dashboard. There's a new projects tab on the left-hand side. I'm going to go there so we could see what's happening. This projects page gives you a snapshot into how your clients are doing across the board. It's a really great overview to see how your clients' jobs are doing relative to each other. It looks like this particular client, Gary, has a much smaller profit margin for this particular job, so let's go ahead and dig into what's going on there. On this project overview, you see a breakdown of income, costs, and profit for this job. Looking through this, it looks like QuickBooks has analyzed the data, and it's telling me that Gary's running 20% higher on labor costs than on other similar projects. Now that you've identified the problem, you can bring it up with Gary and work through a solution. So how did we get to this point where you can see super powerful views that enable you to quickly hone in on bright spots and problem areas? Well, it starts with automatic time capture for your clients' employees through the best time tracking app that exists on the planet, TSheets. When your clients' employees track their time, they can now specify the project they're working on, and that flows right into QuickBooks Payroll. So when you or your client run payroll, because this is all a part of the QuickBooks ecosystem, you instantly have visibility into labor costs by job in QuickBooks. What do you think? I want to thank the accounting professional community for working with us to identify this as an opportunity and for working with us on the solution. So I've shown you an example of how we're listening to you by giving you the power of the QuickBooks ecosystem to deliver amazing experiences like job costing that give you the information you need to move into that advisory role. The other side of our vision's manage pillar is the work we do to help you stay on top of everything going on in your practice. You've told us that as you grow, as you add more staff and more clients, you also start losing more and more sleep, fear that something might be missing, that something might fall through the cracks. To help you ensure that nothing falls through the cracks, we built QuickBooks Online Accountant's Practice Management Experience. We launched Practice Management about a year ago, and thousands of accounting professionals around the world now use this experience to keep tabs of all the work going on across their practice, across all their services and all their clients. Accountants have told us that this experience has really changed the game for them, giving them peace of mind that they've got a handle on everything going on. Here's how it works. When you log into QuickBooks Online Accountant, as always, you're going to land on the client list. On the left-hand side is a tab called Work. This is where Practice Management lives. With Practice Management, you get an instant view into everything going on across your practice, everything going on today, this week, this month. This, in and of itself, enables you to plan, so you can have confidence that you're not going to miss anything. This view has super powerful filters, like this assignee filter, which enables your staff to see only the projects that are assigned to them. They no longer need to spend 45 minutes each morning figuring out what needs their focus, what's the most important thing for them to do. They can now come here, choose themselves from the drop-down, and be productive the moment they step into the office. If you have a meeting with the client coming up, you can also filter this view to see what's going on just for one client. It's a really awesome way to quickly refresh yourself on everything happening across your practice just for that client. I'm actually going to go ahead and choose a client. I'm going to open up a project so you can see what's under the hood. Each project has a set of tasks, each with their own assignee and due date, and collectively, these represent your process. Many of you have asked that we include templates to help you quickly get started with practice management, so we did. And this is an example of that. But we didn't just add templates. We actually spoke with many of the leaders in the industry from across the globe, and we also observed how some of the most efficient accountants that use QuickBooks get work done. And we used all that information to create templates that do more than just get you started really fast on practice management. Some of you who have used them have told us that these templates are a goldmine of information, that you actually use them to pressure test and refine your own processes. Using templates is an awesome way to ensure that your staff is meeting your bar for quality and consistency. So I've shown you how QuickBooks Online Accountant Practice Management Solution can empower your team to be productive the moment they walk into the office, and how it gives you powerful views into the state of your work across your practice, and also how it can give you confidence that nothing's going to fall through the cracks. It has been so rewarding to hear the response to practice management. Many of you have shared that this has totally changed the game for you, and we continue to invest in it accordingly. Now what I'd like to do is show you just a couple of new features that will be available soon, and I want to share with you how you can get exclusive early access to them. The first one is going to free you from your inbox. On average, we spend more than 12 hours a week on email. It's distracting. But now if you get an email that contains work that you and your clients want to get done, instead of letting it distract you, just forward it to QuickBooks. We'll capture it as a task, and that'll enable you to focus on the work that actually requires your attention. Best of all, it works with any email client, Gmail, Outlook, whatever you're using. Here's an email where a client is asking for two things. When I forward this email to QuickBooks, not only is it going to capture this as a project, but we're going to use artificial intelligence and natural language processing to pick up the actions within the email and create individual tasks for each of them. Here's the result within QuickBooks Online Accountant's Work tab. A project that's called Review November Financials is created, and within that, two separate tasks, one for each action, are also created. This can help you quickly get a handle on all of the work inputs that make their way to you through email. You can stop using email as a to-do list and take back control of your time. As we observed many of you get work done, we also noticed another problem. Our research actually shows us that up to 35% of your time can be spent just chasing your clients for the source documents you need to get work done. Documents like bank statements in order to reconcile accounts. Well, now, when your clients connect a financial institution to QuickBooks to download transactions, we're building the capability to automatically import bank statements too. I know, right? I know. So here's how it works. When you log into a client's QuickBooks Online file and go to the Reconcile page, you're going to see a new button called View Statements. When you click on it, we're going to show you the bank statements that we've collected. Thank you, yeah. We're going to show you the statements that we've collected from the financial institution, and we're going to choose, and you can choose any one of them to actually see the bank statement for that period. So here's the bank statement. This happens automatically, folks. Whenever you connect a financial institution to QuickBooks, this is going to happen on your behalf, so no need to remind your clients to send the information you need to get work done. I mean, from your enthusiasm, I know what you think, but why don't you tell me? This Project Profitability, Email to Work, and Statement Auto Importer experiences are brand new, announced here for the first time ever. And I want to give you exclusive early access to them. Now, we're going to give early access to 250 accounting professionals who sign up today. And I'm about to show you, I see your hands. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to show you a URL. You're going to get out your phones right now. I'm going to show you a URL. You're going to go to that URL and choose which of the three you're interested in. Take out your phones. You guys ready? I'm about to show you the website. All right, I got you. See, some people are smart. They're taking a picture. Let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, I know I didn't leave that URL up for too long, but don't worry about it. If you didn't catch it, don't worry. Come visit us at our booth, and even if you're not among the first 250, we'll look for ways to get you in. So I shared just a few examples of the work we're doing to help you manage your practice. What I'd like to do now is shift into how we're helping you grow. And I want to start by sharing some of the stories that we get inspiration from. Please roll the video.
Accountants, by their very nature, they're inquisitive people. They don't want to just know the answer, they want to know how and why.
We want to grow, we want to be able to expand what we do.
In order to affect change, you have to be able to show it through their numbers. 2 years ago, we would just take on the client, pick up their QuickBooks file, and immediately respond to the question of how much will this cost, without asking any of the questions.
Clients don't have a lot of patience. They want to know what it's going to cost them, ideally right then and there. I think the number one thing we hear when somebody calls us is, my job is really very simple. We've all heard it so many times, that becomes a red flag. When we're onboarding new clients, it really is important to know the state that their books are in. Have the accounts been reconciled? Balances that look off, data corruption, duplicated entries. We want to look for all the accounts that the clients forgot they had. We go to the balance sheet. The balance sheet is where they hide the bodies. Do they have e-commerce, sales tax? I have a spreadsheet.
If we don't do our job on the front end by really ascertaining what's involved in working with that company, then we're setting ourselves up to fail.
Just like Peter and Neil, many of you have shared with us that growth for you is two things. It's growing your skills and it's growing your practice. We built the Pro Advisor program to help you grow your skills and your practice. To help you grow your skills, you and your staff. We've designed training curriculum ranging from QuickBooks Online Fundamentals to QuickBooks Online for experienced professionals and everything in between. Research shows that growing your QuickBooks skills through our training increases your earning potential by up to 49%. If you want to grow, leverage our training. The Pro Advisor program is also designed to help you grow your practice. Once you're certified as a Pro Advisor through the Pro Advisor program, you can choose to list a profile on the Find a Pro Advisor website. This is the largest matchmaking site in the world, designed to help people who are looking for an accounting professional find one that meets their needs. Every year, 1 million people search for an accountant through Find a Pro Advisor, and every day we connect 1,000 of them with a professional that meets their needs, making this the largest matchmaking site on the planet. Here's how it works. A small business might search on the site for an accounting professional based on the services that they're looking for. They can specify the services, and then they're going to see a list of professionals that our algorithm determines are a good match for their needs. That small business owner can choose a professional like you from the list and learn a little bit more about what makes you unique. They can check out what other people are saying about you through your reviews, and they can even reach out to you right from this screen. We also give you, accounting professionals, insight into how your profile is doing right from within QuickBooks Online Accountant. You can see the number of profile views you've got in the last 30 days, as well as how many people have actually reached out to you. We know what makes a profile appealing to prospective clients because we see their behavior on our site 1 million times over. We use that data to help you optimize your profile by giving you customized recommendations for how to increase views and leads. These are just a few more examples of how we're using artificial intelligence and machine learning in service to your prosperity. Speaking of leveraging data to help you prosper, there's one more experience that I want to share with you. It's an experience that was born from our obsession with helping you grow and connect with every small business that touches our ecosystem. As we observed you connect with brand new clients, what we learned is that before you win their business, you spend up to 4 hours just evaluating how much work there is to do to get their clients' books current and how much work it is to do to get that prospect's books supported on an ongoing basis. You use those 4 hours and you use what you find to price your services and ultimately to win their business. We're going to take those 4 hours down to 4 minutes with our brand new experience client overview. Imagine you have a new prospect and you're trying to win them over as a client. Your first call with that client goes really well. She gives you access to her books so that you can do your initial assessment. The next time you log into your client's QuickBooks Online account, check out the Overview tab. This is a view we're only showing to power users like you. We start by showing how the company is set up. You can see whether payroll or sales tax are turned on, which might help you decide if you need to quote additional services to that prospect. We also show you the apps that are connected to the client's QuickBooks account so that you know where the data flowing into QuickBooks is coming from. Next, we show you banking activity, which aggregates all the data you need to see how current your client's books are. We also show you common issues that small businesses don't even know are issues, from having opening balance equity to uncategorized transactions to negative balances in asset and liability accounts and more. It's a really powerful view that's critical for you to see as you estimate how much time it's going to take to clean up this client's books. And that's just the start. You see, for example, that this particular client has way too many transactions in undeposited funds. This is an indicator that they probably don't know how to use the account and that they might require some training, something you should probably include in your cost and in your engagement letter. Best of all these data points are deep links, so you can click on just about any of them to see the detail behind it. Coming soon, we're adding even more information to give you a sense of the monthly volume of transactions, including how many bank transactions happen on an average monthly basis. Thank you. and how much accounts receivable and accounts payable work there might be ongoing. Imagine a world where you can take that information from Client Overview into a customizable email with your findings, including your notes, which you can then use to explain your pricing to clients so that they understand what your cost is based on. This is how we envision the evolution of this experience. All right, guys, tell me, what do you think? Client Overview is designed with one goal in mind: to give you the information you need to accurately, confidently, and transparently price your services so that you can win new client business. So I've shown you a few examples of the work that we're doing to help you grow and manage all your clients across all your services in one place with QuickBooks Online Accountant. What I'd like to do now is paint a picture of the future. You heard me speak to the breadth and depth of our ecosystem, and I believe that we're really uniquely positioned to help elevate you to that role of advisor. And one way we see that happening is by leveraging aggregate data of the 3.4 million small businesses in our ecosystem to power the prosperity of every one of your clients. Imagine a world where you log into your client's account and you not only see how your client is performing, but you understand how they're performing relative to other businesses like them. By leveraging this information in aggregate, you have access to data that your clients can't get anywhere else, data that gives them a leg up. Data like how their receivables and payables are performing relative to other similar companies. And who defines what a similar company is? You do, based on the factors that you set. Not only can we show you these benchmarks, but we can also let you generate emails with your own advice, or you can leverage recommended actions from QuickBooks, which you can then share with your clients. Experiences like this position you firmly in that role of advisor and enable you to expand the range of services that you offer. We're in this together for the success of small businesses around the world. Elevating you to that role of advisor and partnering with you is how we plan to deliver against our mission to power the prosperity of small businesses. I want to welcome you to QuickBooks Connect one final time and thank you for your partnership. I look forward to seeing you around over the next 3 days, and I hope you'll stop by our booth to tell us what you think about what we've shown you and what you want to see next. Next, I'd like to introduce Dominic Allen to the stage. Dominic Allen is our international leader at Intuit. Dominic?
Thank you so much, Arish. That was amazing. You crushed it. Wow. What an amazing job. What incredible strength and leadership from Arish. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Arish. A brilliant, brilliant way to start our morning. How is everyone doing? Oh, awesome. So, as you heard from Arish, my name is Dominic Allen, and I serve our customers and teams outside North America. And I'm so excited to have a chance to spend some time focusing on our Firm of the Future competition. Now, we're going to work together on this one. To get the ball rolling on this session, I'm going to ask you a question. Does anyone know how old our Firm of the Future competition is this year? Is it 2 years old, 5, 10? 4! Who said 4? Correct. Okay, so I think QuickBooks Connect is 5 years old. Firm of the Future is 4 years old. And we love Firm of the Future. We love it for one very simple reason. It actually gives us a chance to showcase and celebrate the work that you do. The work that you do to enable your own success and enable that of your partners. It's an incredibly important part of the QuickBooks ecosystem, and we're thrilled to be able to recognize, surface, and showcase incredible firms such as your own with this really important part of our competition. Now, what we did this year is we asked firms, bookkeepers, accountants in 5 different markets around the world to submit their entrants. And we're going to roll through those 5 markets now. And what I want you to do is make some noise if I call out your market, okay? And we're going to start with an easy one. We're going to start with the US. Do we have any Americans in the room? Come on! Woo. Okay. Now, I said it was a competition. Do we have any Canadians in the room? Okay. Now, before I mention the next market, this is really important. Obviously, in my new role, I'm completely unbiased, but British, UK folks, come on. Okay, let's move on to Australia, shall we? Where is the Australian contingent? Come on. Okay, love it. Now, the other thing we did this year for the first time is to ask our partners in India to apply. So do we have any Indian accountants, bookkeepers? Wonderful, fantastic. So we were absolutely thrilled with the response that we got. And the other thing we did this year, as well as inviting Indians for the first time, is to ask the firms that applied to showcase a small business success story. And the reason for that is because we wanted to demonstrate what it looks like when you get that magic of accountants and bookkeepers working with small businesses in the same place. So we asked them to talk about how they perhaps helped a small business grow or overcome a particular challenge. And we were absolutely blown away with the response. We had hundreds and hundreds of applicants. And it reminded us of something very important. It reminded us of the work that you do every day to enable and to assist small business and self-employed in their mission. And we know, of course, that they are really the backbone of our economies and our communities. So a huge recognition and thank you for the work that you do to enable that incredible part of our ecosystem. Give yourselves a round of applause, please, for the work you do to support and enable small businesses around the world. So we had a lot of fun with the competition process. We ran a rigorous process. So we start with a panel review. And then after the panel review, what we do is we move through to a series of public voting. I hope you had a chance to vote. Hands up if you voted in the last few weeks. Okay, that's quite good. We've got a bunch of hands going up. So what we're going to offer is each of the finalists, so both the accounting firm and the small business, is going to receive a $5,000 cash prize. And then the winners, who we'll announce shortly, are going to get a top-up of $25,000 for the firm and a further 15 for the small business. And then in order to really get the momentum going and drive engagement and voting, you may have noticed that this year we set up for the first time a vote matching incentive. So what we said is that for each vote, we'll match that with a contribution to Kiva. Who knows kiva.org? What an amazing enterprise. So if you haven't heard of them, check them out on kiva.org. And what Kiva do is they offer microfinance, so small loans to people that are trying to set up their small business, stand on their own 2 feet, support themselves and their families. And we were absolutely thrilled to smash it and hit our target of $25,000 to Kiva. And that's all part of the work that you've achieved in driving engagement and voting with our incredible Firm of the Future. So please, yes, a round of applause. And here's to all the small businesses that will benefit from those microloans. So finally, I just want to give us all a chance to recognize the finalists. I'm going to ask you, if you are one of the firm or small business finalists from one of our 5 markets, please, on your feet, please stand up. And then I'm also going to ask the audience to give our winning finalists, okay, there they are, a big round of applause. So, thank you so much. These are the folks that have been vying for your vote over the last couple of weeks. And what I want to do now is give us a chance to hear a little bit more from them. So we're going to roll the video now, please. Thank you.
We tend to work in the engine room of the office. We're more of an advisor, more part of the team.
Being an accountant is simpler, but being an advisor, it requires us to take a larger role.
Thanks for joining me this morning, ladies. None of my clients are just clients. We really are an extension of the team.
We're here as the person to go and talk to and give back sensible advice.
Being a trusted advisor really brings satisfaction to me because I get to see the passion of our clients. Today we'll be spending time with OG, one of our favorite clients.
So
since we started working with Reconciled. Initially, I just thought we'd be a little more organized, but it's actually been a huge decision-making tool as we go into 7 different Amazon countries we're in now selling.
You guys want to find a better, faster way to do it that's more automated.
The best advice we got from Michael and Reconciled was to really let them handle it. Because there's so much that we're doing, just selling the product and marketing. We just needed this process working in the background for us.
Okay, now we're on our way to Norwich. One of the clients that we've got a passion about is Norwich Food Hub. What we had to find was a route that this charity could be systemised to find ways to make the business work better.
I can see that we've got the next collection coming in 20 minutes time. Technology has actually transformed the time it takes to manage all of the volunteers and all of the admin around the charity, and that then means that they can interact with more groups that we can give food to.
Holly of Brighton Sports and Wellness Center was one of my first clients when we moved into this area, and we've been together for over 8 years.
I didn't really have an approach to accounting, so I found Tanya online because she had a really great website. Since the beginning, I felt like it was much more than just having a bookkeeper. I've recently started using the Receipt Bank app, and I'm not a huge fan of technology. So Tanya and I sat down, and she took some time to show me and set me up on my phone.
We really are an extension of Holly's team. We've got her back, and of course, we know that Intuit has our back.
We are going to a client, Peppermint Studios. They are a media production house.
To next frame now. We have multiple projects. After Harsh introduced us QuickBook, we are in a position to consolidate and get all the reports in a fingertip.
We'll give you live reports.
Today, I have outsourced the entire finance department to Harsh's Wealth Cafe.
As the business of our client grows, we scale up our teams.
Wealth is not just measured in terms of money that we have. Wealth is also abundance in life.
We are so lucky to have relationships with our clients such as Townsville Service Group.
Hey John, so just had a job come in. Part of the beauty of working with the ServiceMate app is that technicians don't need to return back to the workshops. I can just pick out the closest technician. I click a button and it's instantly in QuickBooks.
They've used and leveraged that technology that we've helped them introduce. With the automation and the machine learning that sits behind QuickBooks Online, we've been able to spend far less time in actually getting the data into the system and far greater time with the clients, analysing, helping them improve their profitability.
Next time we'll have to get one even bigger.
Yep, that's the plan.
My vision for the future is interconnectedness, not only with technology, but with relationships.
Our vision of the future is to be a leader in providing business advice, accessible to small businesses across the nation by leveraging technology.
With AI and emerging technology, it's even more important to educate industry professionals how to stay progressive.
I don't know where that technology is going to take us, but I'm absolutely certain it's going to be exciting.
My vision for the future is that the accounting industry is filled with consultants and advisors that are thinking more like entrepreneurs instead of number crunchers. Being a trusted advisor is a key component to our clients' success and also allows us to continue to offer them great service.
Wow. Wow. What a range of amazing, inspiring stories. I'm sure you'll agree with me. We have a bunch of very, very worthy finalists. But what we're going to do now is announce the winner. Are you ready to hear the winner? Are you going to give me a little bit of a drum roll, folks? Come on, drum roll. Because I'm now going to announce that the winner of the 2018 QuickBooks Firm of the Future competition is, from Canada, Cloud Bookkeeping Services and their small business partner, Brighton Sports and Wellness. A round of applause for our winners. Oh, wow. Here we go. Here are the checks. Fantastic. Congratulations. Well done. Well done, Tanya. Well done. Well done, Holly. Right, grab your checks. And we're going to have a quick photo call. Okay, here we go. There's one for you as well. Oh, okay. Way to go. All right, let's grab a seat and have a chat. After you, please. Congratulations. You've got a mic there as well. Wow. So everybody, come on, huge round of applause for our winners. Woo! Wow. Okay. Wow, how does it feel?
Overwhelming, surreal.
Holly?
Yeah, extremely exciting.
Wow, great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes just having a quick chat, get to understand what makes them tick, and figure out what is the winning formula to be a firm of the future. But what we're going to do before we jump into that is honor a bit of a QuickBooks tradition. If someone joins the QuickBooks team, we always start by asking them to introduce themselves with a fun fact. So we're going to break the ice with a fun fact from both Tanya and Holly. Tanya, quick fun fact then before we jump into the serious stuff.
Our office manager is actually my dog, Rosie, and you can see her on the website. She's quite famous for that.
Oh, okay.
And she greets all of our clients and makes sure that we do all our work.
Oh, wow. Does anyone else have a dog as an office manager? This clearly is the... Oh, we do have a couple of hands going up. Okay, good. Cats are okay too, by the way. And Holly?
I guess I'm a big dog person too, so one of my favorite things is going into her office and having a chance to say hi and give it a little treat and meet Rosie before we get down to business.
Okay, good. Well, that's good to know. So that's probably the key takeaway from this session, right? Get a dog. But before we jump in, Tanya, I would love you to, maybe on a serious note, give a takeaway that maybe helps us understand what it is that you think really sets you apart. Obviously, it's a huge achievement for you to win this accolade. If there was one thing that you've done in your firm or your practice that you think really stands for your success, what would that be?
I would have to say I think it's the education component. We work very hard with our clients, with other bookkeepers and accountants through a business boot camp, and we're even, both two of us, myself and my office manager, are future printer volunteer mentors. So we're mentoring small businesses within the first few years of their businesses as well.
Great. And what inspires you to take that tack? Is that just part of who you are, or did you learn that from someone else?
I love to give back, and I think what started it was I saw all these small businesses that would come to us, and they would already have their businesses started, and they would be in such a mess because nobody gave them proper advice as to go a proper direction.
Love that. Thank you so much. Now, of course, clearly this is about, as I said earlier, the magic of the combination of bookkeepers and small businesses working together. So, Holly, tell us a little bit about how you first got in touch with Tanya. Have you always used bookkeepers, or was it a new departure when you set up your physiotherapy practice?
Well, when I started my practice, I was starting a new business, and it was my first business. So Tanya was with me from the beginning. I found her via her website. It was a really nicely done website, and when I spoke to her, she made me feel at home, and she made me feel like I could really trust them to take care of that part that I know nothing about. And she's been with me now for 8 years, doing all of that work for me.
That's fantastic. And Holly, is this the first business that you've run, or are you a serial entrepreneur?
No, this is my first business.
Okay.
I've worked for others prior to that.
So the first time you needed a bookkeeper?
Absolutely.
And you said you found Tanya through her website, just so the audience can understand, because we talk a lot about online marketing as a key feature of Firm of the Future success. What was the journey? Did you just Google it or jump onto a directory of local providers? How did that work?
In Canada, we have Kijiji, which I think is like Craigslist in the States. And I'm pretty simple when it comes to technology, so that was my only resource. And I went on Kijiji and ran through a number of places that I didn't think were a right fit until I found Tanya's.
Great. And Tanya, do you remember that first interaction?
I do, because she was one of my first clients when we moved into the area, so I absolutely do. And she was the first one to find me from Kijiji.
Great.
I just threw it up there and said, let's see what happens.
And you never look back. And now look, here we are, 8 years later, up on stage. That's fantastic. Yeah, God, keep going. And so tell me, when you win a new client, like, do you have a set procedure? Is it different for each client? I mean, how much do you remember about onboarding Holly and understanding their business?
Well, onboarding Holly was very easy because it was just all in desktop. There was not a lot to involved with the onboarding. She just brought in the paperwork and we got started. But these days, no, it depends on the client as to the process. Some clients are more involved in their process if they're a little more friendly or a little more, in tune with their business. And some we kind of work a little slower and we maybe take a little more and then give them a piece at a time, basically.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I said in my introduction that so much of this is about identifying new technologies and new ways of working in order to both grow your firm and then, of course, enable the success of your clients. And clearly, like, movement into the cloud, in this case from desktop, is a common path. And you've mentioned education already, so that might be it. But when you think about helping people make that move, understanding what's involved, giving them the confidence to change as well, what else do you do to enable your customers and to kind of remove that friction?
Of course, educate them as to why it is that we want to use the technology that we're using. Try to find the simple. Our philosophy is KISS, keep it simple. So we try to find something very simple, and of course help them and continue to touch it in with them and make sure that they're using it, that they understand it, and that they're comfortable with it.
Okay, and in terms of your experience and that change journey, how much of it was just you wanting to make the right moves and understanding intuitively it was the right thing to do, versus Tanya giving you that kind of helping hand and leading you down that path?
None of it was me.
She's taking all the credit. Okay, fantastic.
I held back quite a bit on it, and Tanya she did explain why we needed it and how it would help me, and how it would help her to help me, which was important because she is part of the team. And we took it step by step, really slow. She let me do one bit at a time and experience it and decide whether or not I was comfortable with it. And she took the time to show me how to do it, and it's been really successful.
And do you think about it now, or is it just the way you get things done?
It's just natural now. Yeah, nothing. None of my fears happen. There's no big crashes or.
Okay, good. That's good. Let's keep it that way, right?
Yeah.
So, as well as obviously the magic and the beauty of bookkeepers and accountants working together, we are an open platform, like ecosystem company. We really believe in the power of apps and this notion that often QuickBooks will be better together in combination with a couple of other apps, maybe even more. And we know that allows all of our customers to configure the right combination for them and really get that notion of mass customization into reality. When you think about the key apps that enable you, and maybe Holly will stay with you, what are the key partner apps that enable you to get the most out of QuickBooks and ensure that all of your needs are met?
The one I use the most is Receipt Bank. The rest of them, Tanya and her team really take care of for me. But definitely Receipt Bank has changed the way we do business. We're a bit of a drive apart, so I don't have to do as much driving, and we have everything in real time now.
Okay. I noticed in your video that you said you were initially quite afraid of using Receipt Bank. Walk me through that. How did it feel? What made you take that leap of faith into the dark and using that receipt capture app?
I was in the office one day with Tanya, and she kind of just said, let's just try it. Let's just try it here. I'll show you how it works in the office. Nothing for real, just run it through, put it on the phone, see what you think. And it really was easy, and we did it for a couple of months, and yeah, I would not go back.
You'd never look back. Love it. Okay, so it sounds like that kind of hands-on approach really made the difference in this case.
Absolutely.
And Tanya, from your point of view, when you think about those range of partner apps, this kind of open ecosystem philosophy, how do you think about that? And what are the key combinations that you recommend for your clients? Do you have a kind of set piece for all of your clients, or do you tailor it according to each customer?
We do tailor according to each customer, but our starting point is, of course, QBO, HubDoc, and Receipt Bank. Those are our three starts. And then from there, it depends on the client's needs and their needs and comfort zones as well.
The comfort levels.
Yeah.
So does it vary quite dramatically with your different? You've got about, is it 35 clients?
We've got 39 full-service clients now. Yeah. Cut almost in half from last year, strategically.
Oh, strategic growth. And so it varies by client, does it? Their levels of comfort and the kind of onboarding journey?
It does. For the most part, our clients are small They're service-based clients, so we don't necessarily have a lot of need to pull in a lot of the other apps. At this point, we're starting to work with Chatta and Dry Run a little more for the advisory services.
Oh.
So yeah, Chatta.
No one is missing a chance for a shout out in this audience. I can tell you that. All right. Okay. Cool. So one of the themes that's come up in this discussion that I think is really interesting is your passion for education and training, and the way in which that then smooths your journey into the firm of the future kind of configuration. And I know that you've got a couple of really cool like boot camps running. So can you talk to the team here about these boot camps? Like, what are they? How do they work? Who attends them?
Absolutely. So the boot camps are for accounting professionals. It started off bookkeepers, but we've had 2 accountants join, and of course it started off Canada, and we've got 2 from the US, which is great. And so we're just working with them and helping them tighten workflows, really learn and embrace a lot of the technology, and then helping them to take value pricing, picking the ideal client, having the right client is so important, and then helping to teach them to take the services to the next level, again, more advisory services. And that's been running for almost 3 years. And then just this year, we did a spin-off, which is a business boot camp, which is the same thing of businesses, and that was actually inspired by our Futurepreneur journey that we have. And so again, it's more like business coaching. It's a little different for the businesses, but we're helping them to learn how to grow, again, embrace the technology that would work for them, maybe help them pick their ideal clients, maybe help some of them learn how to value price in their industries. And then we've just started to launch that out. We're licensed that to the boot campers. So we've got several boot campers taking advantage of it right now who are running successful pilot projects with that too. So
that's great.
That's amazing
Wow.
for them.
What an amazing initiative. And Holly, have you attended any of these boot camps? How does it feel to be on the receiving end of these boot camp training sessions?
I haven't. We usually do a one-on-one sit down. I tend to need
personalized boot camps for
I
Holly.
know. I tend to need a little more help.
Okay, and then outside of those one-on-one training sessions, where else do you turn to for like, information and insights and inspiration, or is it all just through Tanya?
It's all through Tanya and her
It's
team.
all through Tanya, okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, okay. I think, in a way we've touched on this question as we've gone through this Q&A, but maybe each of you could share 1 or 2 things that makes this relationship so successful. Clearly, you've got this incredible rapport and chemistry. You're supporting and enabling each other. What is it that really drives that success, would you say, Tanya?
I think a connection, first off, is most important. You should have a really good connection, a really open relationship with the clients. And I mean, my background is customer service prior to this, so it's very important to me to, again, really help and listen to the clients, see how it is I can help. If we're not listening, we can't help.
That's great. And Holly, and for the audience, if you wanted them to take something back home that would inspire them and enable them to understand what creates this incredible relationship and rapport, what would it be?
If you can find a bookkeeper that you can really trust and rely on, it takes a lot off my plate, and I can do what I do. And just knowing that they go the extra mile all the time to meet what's needed and to answer questions and to help direct where we need to go next.
I love that. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to wrap up with one final but important question, because I guess there might be some folks in the audience that would like to be up on stage next year. Yeah, let me hear from you if you'd like to be up here next year. Any budding Firm of the Future winners? Okay, so about 2,000 of you. Okay, so I'm going to ask our winners from this year if there was one thing, one piece of advice for these wonderful bookkeepers and accountants out here who would like to be up on stage next year, what would it be? What's the one thing, Tanya, you'd share?
Be a disruptor, push those boundaries.
Love it. How does that sound? Okay, so we've got disruption, break the boundaries, and then Holly, from your point of view, obviously, as the customer in the mix, what would be the one thing?
Definitely, Tanya goes the extra mile all the time to really listen and care about her customers and her clients. So that makes a big difference for me.
Great, I love it. Well, look, we're gonna close there. What I want you to do, please, is to put your hands together and once again celebrate and reward our Firm of the Future winners for 2018. And please, congratulations. Thank you so much. Well done. Wow. Well, look, what an amazing and inspiring session. So many wonderful, wonderful entrants, some incredible finalists, and of course, I hope you'll agree with me, some fantastic, very, very worthy winners coming out of Canada. I hope that you've taken something away that will enable and that will support you in your journey. And hopefully, for those of you that are thinking about applying for the next year's Firm of the Future competition, you've got a couple of things to take home and ready to act upon. So that's it from me. We're going to hand over to our next session now. Enjoy the rest of your morning. Thanks for being such a great audience. See you later.
Please welcome to the stage entrepreneur and master showman, Vin Jiang.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much for clapping. I haven't done anything yet, but thanks for the applause. So look, before I begin, I just want to get a bit of a feel for the room. How many of you in this room before this conference actually knew of me and know who I am and what I do exactly? Raise your hands. There's one person up front. That hurts my soul. Crushing. It's actually quite offensive. But you see, I'm kidding. Before I begin, let me give you some context on who I am. So to do this, we have to go back about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was in university in Australia studying commerce and law. So I could either become an accountant or a lawyer. I know, fulfilling the Asian prophecy. Yes, an accountant, a lawyer, or a doctor. And in Australia, the degree Commerce and Law is 5 years long. And about 4.5 years into the degree, I came home and I had the following conversation with my parents. So just imagine you were there. I come home, Mum and Dad are in the lounge room, so I come home and I say, Mum, Dad, I love you. Just very much. But it's taken me a long time to build the confidence to tell you this. I love you. I'm going to quit university. My mum immediately starts crying. It's impossible to cry that fast. But then my mum knows that if she cries, my dad gets pissed off. So my dad, on cue, he rolls up his sleeves, he walks up towards me, and he gives me one of these. He goes, oh, sorry, for those of you who don't know, that's what Bruce Lee does before he kicks your ass. Yeah, so... So I recognize the signs of danger. And I say to him, I go, Dad, no, don't. Just wait. There's 2 things I have to tell you. Dad, look, regardless of what you say, I'm quitting. I'm not deferring, quitting university. And one more thing, Dad, do you remember that investment property you purchased in 2001? And you said it was for me, for motivational purposes. Commercial Law 1 and 2 at university stated it was a verbal contract. Yeah, that's mine. It's come the time I'd like to sell what's mine and use $100,000 of your money to build a business on the internet, to teach magic tricks. No one was laughing. My dad, at this point, he gets so upset. You know, for those of you who have children, I do, I've got a son. He was so angry, he didn't even know what to do. So he looks to my mum for instructions, who's now crying for real. And he leaves mid-conversation, leaves me in the lounge room, backwards, turns, picks up my mum, and then they both walk into the kitchen. And I'm left there in the lounge room thinking, wait, why would you... Knives are in the kitchen. So I begin to panic, and I'm like, oh no, what are they saying in there? So my imagination goes wild. Why? Because they whisper. And it freaks me out. So my imagination at this point is gone. So this is what I'm thinking my dad's saying. He's probably saying something like this to my mum. Something like this. Don't worry, honey. Don't worry, okay? We kill this boy tonight. Okay, honey. We kill him tonight. Honey, okay, don't worry. Tonight, okay? Tonight, we make another one. Okay? Don't worry. Thank you for laughing. Not a joke, but thank you. My brother was born as a result. We're 12 years apart. We're more than 12 years apart. And guess what my brother is studying in university now? Medicine. What a jerk, right? So for a very long time, I think my parents felt like they had one son, my brother. But you see, my parents gradually come out of the kitchen and they say something that takes me by surprise. It's very difficult to surprise someone who's part magician, mind you, but mum and dad do it. And you have to know one more thing about my dad. My dad is the oldest brother of 7 brothers. He was the one that made the decision to flee Vietnam during the war, leave everything they owned behind to find a new home for their unborn children. Wasn't born yet, and he thought of me. Dad's a pretty cool guy. So my dad comes out and he goes, boy, I did not risk my life. I didn't risk the lives of all your uncles, all your aunties, especially your mum and your grandparents. I didn't risk everybody's life in our family to try to find freedom to then force you to do something you did not want to do. Boy, I tried to find freedom. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And the most beautiful words he said then followed. He said, son, in this life, you owe me one thing. Do you know this? You actually owe me one thing, son. In this life, you have to jump as high as you can in this life. And as long as I'm alive, I'll forever be your net. And, yeah. Oh, thank you. So I tested that theory. Yes. Terrible son, terrible son. But you know, every single time I failed, my mum and dad were right there. They were my net. They were there to remind me that failure is just a detour. It's not a destination. Age-old wisdom, right? And then every single time my university friends now would outcast me because I was a university dropout, my mum and dad would remind me that the adversity that you go through, it's the competitive advantage in the future. Why? Because it's the training that actually makes you great. And then every single time I needed an extra $200, Dad was there. Charged a ridiculous interest rate. Should have just went to the bank. But you see, why do I tell you this? Because before we even begin, I want you to know who I am. I would have never achieved any of the things I've achieved in my life. I would not be the man that I am today if it was not for the sacrifices my mum and dad have made and those before them. And I thank you. Oh, you're very kind. But you know what? That doesn't just apply to me. I believe the same is true for you as you sit there this morning. You would not be who you are, you would not be where you are if it wasn't for the sacrifices your mum and dad have made. And now for a real reason to clap. Can we clap it up for our families? Yeah, awesome. Lovely. Now, you're most likely thinking, well, did you sell the investment property? Yes, we did. Best day of my life. Never lost so much money so quickly before. But that gave birth to Encyclopedia of Magic, which is the online business that teaches magic tricks. And you know, I started this in 2011. And today we've combined forces now with another school called 52 Cards. And together we serve just over 950,000 students from all over the world for the world of magic. And as a result of this, we were actually awarded in South Australia Young Entrepreneur of the Year. So mum and dad has 2 sons again. I'm back in the game. Thank you. In your face, younger brother. Dr. Brother. But you see, on my journey, I've been able to learn so many wonderful lessons, and I'd love to share them with you today. And the last thing you need to know about me, to give you context on me, is I spend the majority of my time now, I live in California, I live in Southern California, and I teach in a theater in Long Beach. I teach people how to use their voice. I teach people the craft of what magicians call showmanship. Because you see, as magicians, there was this mindset that we fall into. We believe that if I just become the best technically as a magician, sleight of hand, I can become the most successful magician out there in the world. If I build the biggest bank of technical knowledge as a magician, I can become the best magician in the world. Not true. The magician who's best technically lives in Asia with his mum and dad. And he's 39. It's quite tragic. However, the most successful magician in the world of magic, I'm sure you would know, is David Copperfield, one of the world's best. Now, David's sleight of hand isn't the best. Yet David has the perfect combination of 2 things. Wonderful technical skills and technical knowledge, but then also what magicians call showmanship. What helps you become a successful magician in the world of magic is the combination of the 2. Now, I believe there are common threads between the world of magic and the world of business, the world you all live in, because you too need showmanship with what you do, especially as you move from your role as being accountants to now advisors. My friends, more important than ever, we must learn the advisor's instrument. We must learn the leader's instrument, how to use this, our voice. That's what I do now with the majority of my time. So I'd love to share with you my perspective on this. And I need 5 people. I use magic as my metaphor. So let's get one thing clear before we start this. If I pick you and you look away, I can still see you. So let's be super clear on this so we avoid any awkwardness. So I'd like lady number 1 with the glasses up in front, second row, if you could join me, please. Come quickly as you can. The side stairs. Number 1, number 2. Yes, thank you. Thank you, quickly as you can. Number 2, I'm going to go with the gentleman, actually the lady sitting with the legs crossed right there. The lady just up in front. Thank you. Number 2, quickly as you can, join me. Thank you for bringing up the lights. Number 3, the gentleman with the glasses just poked out his tongue. Yes, thank you. That was gross. 3. Number 4, gentleman in the green striped shirt. And number 5, the lady just in the back with her hand up, nice and high, doing the peace sign. Thank you. Can we please give them a big round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Lovely. Good. Thank you. Oh, 4, and we have 1 extra person. This is super unfortunate. I'm going to have the 2 of you do rock, paper, scissors, please. That is the fairest way I know. Yes, rock, paper, scissors in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, you gotta go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you gotta know the rules of this. Paper, scissors, go. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for these 5 people. Thank you very much. It's a very unusual beginning to that. But you see, as I begin, what I'm about to share with the 5 of you, oh, actually, could I also get it kind of girl, girl, boy, girl? Just so then it's a bit of order. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, now I can relax. Thank you for that. It's quite stressful. You see, this is how magicians used to begin their show in the early 1900s with this particular trick. I have a packet of cards. All the cards are different. I'm just going to wrap them up because as you get nervous on stage, sometimes you drop the cards. Okay, so just relax, it's fine. The 5 of you, you have to hold the cards very close to your chest in a moment. And I'd like you to lift up the cards, look at one card only. Does that make sense? Don't take the card out, it's a memory thing. Okay? So just look at one, don't look at hers. Look at one, get it in your head, say it to yourself over and over again, next person, pass it to the next person, and then look at it. If it's a number, remember the number, don't forget the suit as well. Both are vital. And again, quickly as you can, next person again. And please don't forget this card, because if you do forget this card, the trick will be crap. So please don't forget it. And once you're done, place it in my hand. Good. Now none of you, oh, just quickly, no discussing, please. None of you thought of the King of Hearts on the bottom? Did any of you think of that? Okay, that's too easy. Okay, let's not do that. So right now, each person is thinking of a different card. No one in this room, including me, knows what the cards are. So we play a game now of what we call truth or lie. So I'm going to ask you questions about your card. You can choose to either tell a truth about that or a lie. Sometimes lie confuse me. Does that make sense? Good. This is the game. Okay, thank you. Was your card red or black?
Black.
Yes, it was very sneaky. Was yours red or black?
Black.
Good, thank you. Very sincere pose. You can tell truth. Was it red or black?
Red.
Thank you very much. Was it red or black?
Black.
Good, thank you. Red or black?
Red.
Good. Was what color was it again?
Red.
Good. Sometimes hard to remember lies. Yeah. And what? Actually, was yours odd or even? Oh, slightly confused. What this means is she's probably thinking, holy cow, it was a picture card. Was it odd or even? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was a picture card. Yes. Okay, good. I think I know what yours is. It's fine. Yeah, thank you. Was yours a 5?
No.
Truth. Shoulders very relaxed. Sincere pose. Hard to lie like this. Was it? Sometimes lie. Was it a 6?
No.
Truth again. Was it a 4?
No.
Was it a 3?
No.
Was it a 9? No. Was it a 10? Oh, process of elimination. Yours is easy then. Okay, good. I know what yours is. And yours over here. No, actually, I know what yours is already. That's easy. Was yours a 10?
No.
9?
No.
8?
Yes.
Too much eye contact. That was a lie. It's not an 8. Don't lie. Clearly a lie. You admitted to it. Good. I think I know what yours is. And the last one, my friend, is name a suit. Hearts or diamonds?
Diamonds.
Good. I'm going to name 5 cards. Please listen very carefully. Don't react if you hear your card. Please look at the audience. That way you feel more nervous. Here's the 5. Look at the audience, please. Look at the audience. Listen very carefully. 2 of hearts, 7 of clubs, Jack of clubs, Queen of diamonds, Ace of spades. If I named your card, walk back to your seat now, no lying. Please give them a big round of applause, please. Big round of applause. Good. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you. Now listen, my question to you immediately after this is, who here in this room believes they can come on stage and perform this trick for me right now? Raise your hands. Okay, good. Thank you for not putting your hands up, otherwise you would have ruined my point. Thank you. But you see, the question is, why is it that 99.99999% of the room cannot perform this trick? Why can't you do this? Why? Well, it's because you don't know how. That's all, because you don't have a magician's perspective. So I'm going to tell you how this is done. I'm going to give you a magician's perspective, just to prove a point. Because you see, if I showed you these cards, and you looked at them closely, what you'd realize is every single 5 cards is exactly the same. How do you like me now? Yeah. He's a fraudulent bastard. But you see, let me tell you this. Let me ask you the same question I asked you just a minute and 23 seconds ago. Who here in this room believes now, if they took a chance and didn't allow fear to stop them, who here believes they can come on stage and perform this now? Raise your hands. Look around you, look around you. This is crazy to me because this, a moment ago, felt impossible. It felt impossible and you're like, wow, Vin's amazing. That's how you sound. And you thought it was amazing. You thought that was fantastic. And you thought it's impossible. I could never do that. And then literally 2 minutes later, this thing that was once impossible is now 100% possible. This is one of the fundamental reasons why I fundamentally believe in life that nothing is truly impossible. We just don't have the right perspective yet. You see, this is an illusion. And one of the biggest illusions in life is having great communication skills. It's what magicians call showmanship. It's a fancy word for communication skills. And just like how there are 5 cards repeated over and over and over, there are 5 core foundations in the world of communication that I love to share with you. And again, why is this relevant? Because as you know, as you become advisors, as you advise people with the knowledge you have, if you don't share that knowledge and you don't use this voice well, this instrument well, people won't buy into the knowledge you're trying to share. 5 core foundations when it comes to using this. Okay, good. Write these down. The first one is rate of speech. Just imagine for a second if I was up here on stage and I did this. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, my name is Vin. Today I'm going to be speaking to you about communication skills. I'm going to be going through all the foundations, and what you're going to be learning is how to connect and communicate with others to have more impact and influence. You're like, what did he even say? Because if I speak quickly, you can't catch on to what I'm saying. But then what if I did this? What if I said, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be speaking to you about communication skills. You're thinking, oh my God, how long is this going to go for? Again, what does that tell us is that you can't just always speak quickly. There are times you've got to go quick to show passion and enthusiasm to increase your rate of speech. But then there are times when you're explaining something new for the first time, use a slower rate of speech. Vary your rate of speech. Good. The second one I'd love to share with you is this. Volume. You must vary your volume. Because again, imagine I came on stage today and I was absent of any volume and I came up and I did this. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm pumped. Just ready to go. Again, a lot of the times if we're sharing important advice, if we don't inject volume, what does that mean? It means we don't radiate confidence. We don't show authority. We don't show vitality. And sometimes people didn't even hear what you've said. And we live in such a polite society now that there are times when people didn't hear what you've said and they won't even ask you to repeat it. They'll just go, yeah, sure, that sounds all right. They didn't even hear it. We must vary, my friends, our volume. And most of us, a lot of my students who come to California and do my workshop, they say, oh, but Vin, I can't have a bigger volume. I'm shy. I'm like, oh, that's fine. You can still be shy. Just be louder. Totally fine. Totally fine. Please, volume. Incredibly important. The next one. Pitch. Every single one of us in this room can hit 5 different pitches with ease. However, we get stuck in a default pitch, and then we get into the horrible place that everybody fears, monotone. We do genuinely fear this, but remember that a monotone voice comes out of a monotone body. Move a little more and you add a little bit more pitch to your voice. But quick thought experiment. The reason why melody and pitch is important, quick experiment. Who here has a favorite book that they've read 10 times at least or more? Okay, good. So the people who have their hands up, let me ask you this question. Who here in this room who has read a book more than 10 times, who here can repeat word for word and read for me one page out of that book right now from top of their head? Okay, good. You shouldn't be able to. That's freaky. And then let me ask you the same question, but different example. Who here has a favorite song that they sing all the time? Okay, good. If I asked you to recite word for word the lyrics of that song, who here could do it for me right now? Interesting. So many hands up. A song has 280 words. A page in a book has 280 words. Why can we repeat a song, yet not a page in the book? A song has melody. It has melody. You add more melody to your voice, what you say becomes more memorable. What you say becomes more sticky. Add more melody to your voice. You see the next one I'd love to share with you. Tonality. And what is tonality? Tonality is you feeling your words. Notice how I didn't say, tonality is you feeling your words. No, tonality is you feeling your words. So pragmatically, what does that mean? It means all you do is you elongate the vowel and you inject a bit of emotion in there. Far too often we go through life using words as our modality for communication. And then when we speak, we just throw all the words away. We don't even put any injection, any feeling into them, we just throw them all away. I get two types of people who potentially come up to me after a keynote. The first person will come up to me like this. They'll come up. Hi, Vin, that was one of the best keynotes I've ever seen, blew my mind. Okay. That's number one. Number two, the second person will come up to me and go, Vin, best keynote ever! Right? Sorry, slightly exaggerated. But let me just ask you, who was more effective at expressing their appreciation? The second person. I felt it. I felt what the second person said. But here's the thing I've come to realize in my career, is that the first person actually felt more appreciative. However, he or she wasn't able to express that with clarity, therefore I didn't feel it. My friends, when you're out there serving your clients, feel your words. Take the time to feel them. And we wonder why people don't connect with us. It's because we don't have tonality in the way we sound. And here's a point of wisdom here. Your voice is literally your personality. That's your voice. When people talk about your personality, they are reflecting upon your voice. Good. The last one, I love this, is pause. How awkward is this? However, pausing is so important because when you pause, you give the other person time to process what you've said. And also when you pause, that's you giving the other person time so they can talk, so you can listen. And the most powerful thing about a pause is as you become more comfortable with a pause, it's okay, I'm just pausing for demonstration. But as you become more comfortable with this, it gets rid of all your ums, your ahs, it gets rid of all your non-words and fillers like and so, gets rid of all of those. These are the 5 core foundations of world-class communication. My friends, this is all I do. As you watch me for the next 20 minutes we have together, this is all I do. As you go through the conferences now, moving into the future, and you see a great speaker, this is what they do. They've mastered these 5 core foundations, and you can too. It's not difficult. It's just an illusion because it comes down to these 5 things. Perfect. Now on that note, I'd love to share with you the next point. You see, one of the biggest questions magicians get asked is, well, how do you create the impossible? How do you create the impossible? And I'd love to share it with you with this one piece of magic here. But I need a very specific person. I need someone in the room who is very good with long words. So please raise your hands if you're good at long words. Let me rephrase that question. Please point to someone who is very good at long words. Is somebody good at long words in particular? Yes, there's somebody. Who are you pointing at? You're pointing at yourself, ma'am, are you? Oh, do you mind joining me on stage for this piece? Is that okay? Can we give her a big round of applause, please, as she joins me on stage? Thank you very much for this. Thank you. Good. Lovely. Oh, it's my first true volunteer. Thank you. Hi, what's your name? Becca Dubois. Oh, beautiful name. Lovely to meet you. And before today, did you know who I was? I didn't. No, you didn't. That's fine. Again, offensive. Totally fine. If I could get you to stand just here for me, please. Thank you. And I've got 3 classic books here. Okay, first we've got Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown. Classic. Yeah, it's good. Stephen King, The Shining.
Saw the movie.
Classic. But the most classic of them all, Harry Potter.
Didn't read that, but I saw the movie.
Which one would you like? Free choice. Oh, Da Vinci Code. Oh, very cultured lady. Love it. Good choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all a trick a magician performed in 1907, which is over 100 years ago. And when the magician performed this piece, he made the world believe that psychic powers were real. I don't believe a word of this, biggest skeptic you ever meet. However, this is what the magician performed, and it started an era of charlatans. This is what he did. So in a moment, I'm going to get you to open that book to a random page. Please don't go to your favorite chapter, okay? Somehow you could think I know this. So don't open it to your favorite chapter. Random is critical, random is key. Random. If you can, random, please, as quickly as you can. Random, go for it. Yes, please, yes. Good. And I'd like you to look at the 2 pages that you randomly open to. And as you look at those 2 pages, I'd like you to look for a nice, long, interesting word. Please don't go for the names of the characters. I know them off by heart. Yes, thank you. So just pick one, have a look at them, and you can change your mind, Rebecca. It's up to you. But once you have one you like, nice, long, interesting word, then stick with it. Do you have one, yes or no? Oh, out loud, please. I'm not a mind reader. Yes? Yeah. Do you have a word? Do you have a word in mind? Do you have one, like you can see? Yeah, yes, please. Pick a long one. Yes, you've got it? No, don't say it. Yeah. It just takes the challenge out of it somewhat if you just tell me. Yeah. No, that's okay. Go for a different one. Go for a different one. Go for a different one. Yeah, absolutely. My fault. So go for a different one, Rebecca. And do you have another one? Okay, it's not recommendation, right? It's not. Okay, good. So stick with this new one. Don't say anything. Just lock it in your head and close the book. Leave it on the floor. Now, please don't forget what this word is. Keep saying it to yourself over and over again in your head. Once the person has a random word selected, a long word preferably, the magician then invites the person to the center of the stage. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes, yeah, no worries. And then the magician says to the spectator on stage, Rebecca, in a moment I'd like you to suspend all disbelief. And for a moment, believe you do have psychic powers. And the way we do this, Rebecca, is we pretend our eyes are like projector screens, okay? And we're going to project to the audience, say, the first letter. So think of the first letter of your word. Just think of it. Don't say it. Hold one hand up like this. Yes. And look to this side of the room. I actually use both hands. It's better for reception. Yes. Yes. We're in a conference room. And I want you to beam them the first letter with your eyes. Just send it to them with your eyes. Yes. And then send it to the entire audience. Look all the way through. Good. And put your hands down. So in a room with, oh my goodness, thousands of people, no more, I would say, than a couple of hundred of you should get this correct. So you can hang on to the mic, please. So Rebecca, in a very loud voice, I want you to tell them what letter you were trying to send. And if you got it right, please stand so I can get a bit of a feel for how many people got this correct. So if you don't have a letter, just guess one in your head. What letter were you trying to send? Nice and loud.
S.
Sorry, S? Okay, good. Okay, absolute terrible job. We'll try this one more time. Grab the book real quick for me. Terrible, absolutely terrible. We need more people than this. Sit down, have a seat. Go again, one last time. And then grab another word, whichever one you like. Make sure it's a free choice. And do you have one? Good, now stick with it, don't change your mind. And now again, I want you to try to send the first letter of this one. See if you can do this. So just kind of one hand, that's good. It's like you've done this before. Yes. It's almost like you've done this twice now. And then good, hands down. And audience members, genuinely, please guess another letter in your head. And then again, what letter were you trying to send this time?
L.
Who got L this time? L. Good. Worse than before, but that's fine. We'll try. No, this is good because more people towards the front got this. Now let's try this with me. So just think of this one. Let's see if this will work. Let's just try this with me. Can you pretend to see the second letter in my palm? You can leave that on the floor, yes. Pretend to see the second letter in my palm. The second letter of this word.
Okay.
Oh, make sure it's in lower caps, not upper caps.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a rookie mistake. It's fine.
It's there.
So it's in lowercase.
It's there.
See it?
Yep.
Keep looking at it. Yep, and just pretend it's getting a bit bigger and bolder as it comes closer. Oh, yes or no? It's just a line. Is it an I? Yes, okay, good, it's an I. Good. Try not to give anything away, thank you. Try not to raise your eyebrows, okay? Yes, that's okay. Now, the next question I have for you is, can you balance with your eyes closed?
Yes.
Okay, stay like this for me. Rebecca, I'm going to ask you in a moment to start saying the word in your head without moving your lips. Start saying this word over and over again. Not yet, only when I tap you on the left shoulder. Hold on. I need to see the difference. Start now. Every single syllable nice and slow. Too quick. Okay, good. Keep going. Nice and clear. Good. Keep going. And then in your head, let this voice get louder. Keep going and match my volume to the point where it feels like you're screaming. Stop. If I get this wrong, it's her fault. I think it's very clear. Barely anybody in the room got S before, and it's a very difficult thing to do, obviously. You could have chosen whatever you wanted, right? It was entirely up to you. Close your eyes for a second. I'm going to show everyone what I think. Close your eyes. It's got to be this. Doesn't have to be. Don't laugh, it makes me scared. Absolutely should be because of the last bit. Okay, open your eyes. Into the mic, please, in a very loud voice. What was the word in a very loud voice?
Lightheartedly.
Yes, it was. Give her a big round of applause. Thank you very much indeed, Rebecca. You're amazing. Oh, thank you. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Big round of applause for Rebecca, please. Thank you very much indeed. Good. Fantastic. In 2012, there was nothing more I cared about in my life than this trick. Nothing. And all I had to work with was 4 sentences from a newspaper extract. And I photocopied it from a newspaper from 1907, took it to all my magic buddies, and said, we must learn this. This is the closest we could ever get to mind reading. And they all looked at me and they said, bloody hell, Vin. Calm down, mate. Book like that has 100,000 words. That's 1 out of 100,000. It can't be done. You're an idiot. Obviously, I unfriended them on Facebook. But something truly profound happened. All of my magic buddies who believed that this could not be done, guess what? They never even tried. I was foolish enough to believe that there was a way. I found the method. I found the solution. I'm going to share with you how this trick is done too. Not because I want to reveal magic, but rather because I want to reveal your potential. How do magicians create the impossible? This is the metaphor for it. How will you create the impossible in your life? This is the metaphor for it. So you see, what's the first step to creating something impossible? It might be a challenge, it might be a goal you'd like to achieve that feels impossible. What's the first step towards achieving that? The first step is that you must fundamentally believe that it can be done. But why is this belief thing so important? It's because our beliefs dictate our actions in life. And when you believe it can be done with conviction, only then do you take the first step. Because our beliefs dictate our actions. So you believe it can be done, you take the first step. And only when you take the first step can you see step 2. You cannot see step 2 from step 0. You've got to be on step 1. So what's the first thing I told Rebecca to do? And she did every single time. Every time I told her to open the book to a random page, she went right into the middle. Right? Because when you tell someone in the Western culture to go random, they go, oh yeah? Not going to go in the first bit or the last bit. Middle. So just like that, you remove 25%, 25%. You take the second step, 1 out of 50,000, not 1 out of 100,000. It's a lot easier, right? No. You lose your mind on step 2 and you dye your hair blonde and you go crazy. But why do you keep going? Why? You keep going because you believe it can be done. Think about someone you believe in. Think about something you believe in. When times get difficult, we don't give up. We do not give in. We keep on track, we stay on track. And because you stay on track, you meet someone who has a different perspective to you. You meet a linguist, and she goes, oh, Vin, the next step is easy. Just ask them to pick a long word, not a short word. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she goes, Vin, a long word is a word that has more than 6 letters. So if you remove every single word in this middle 50% that has less than 6 letters, how many words have you removed? 90% of it is now gone. You take the next step, not 1 out of 50,000, 1 out of 5,000. And the next 2 steps will blow your minds as to how this is done. But I'm not sharing it, no. Because how this is done is not important. The most important thing I want you to realize is this first step. Far too often as we look at the challenges and the goals we'd like to achieve in the near future, far too often as we look at them, we label them with, oh, it's impossible, I'm being unrealistic. No, my friends, the impossible is not real. The impossible is a trick you play on yourself. I've spent the last 15 years of my life studying deception, and the biggest illusion you ever experience in your life is not one that a magician performs for you. The biggest illusion you ever experience in your life is when you tell yourself something cannot be done. It's not real. You see, I'd love to share with you an exercise. Difficult to do with 3,000 people, but we're going to do it. I'd love you all to stand, please, if you don't mind. It's good for blood flow at this point. Thank you. Please do stand. As you're all standing in this room, I'd like you to face a partner if you can. Face a partner or groups of 3s. Face a partner or groups of 3s. And have a good look at your partners, have a good look at them, and then turn your backs before it gets awkward. Just turn your backs before it gets slightly awkward. And with your backs turned, here is your challenge. I'd like you all to change 33 things about your appearance. Go. No, just kidding. I'd like you all to change one thing about your appearance. One thing. Don't let them hear it, don't let them feel it, just change one thing. One thing, you got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Face your partners, what did they change? Face your partners, what did they change? Good. All right, turn your backs again. Turn your backs again. Turn your backs. Make sure you have your backs turned. Now with your backs turned, here is your second challenge. Okay, your second challenge, I'd like you to change one more thing. But, wait. Change one more thing, but if your partner didn't notice what you changed, please be more dramatic. Obviously, don't take off your clothes, obviously, please don't do that. But please change one more thing, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Face your partners, what did they change? Very good. Have a seat. Once you're done, have a seat. Have a seat, everyone. Have a seat. Good. Have a seat, everyone. Have a seat. Good. Now let me ask you this. My high school teacher did this with my class. And when she did this with my class, right at the end of the exercise, she says, right, you lot, anything is possible in life. And we're like, what? Miss Beecham's on drugs? And then she said the most profound thing. And I'm borrowing her words at this point. She said, as I'll say to all of you, right in the beginning when I asked all of you in this room to change 33 things about your appearance, how did you feel? I felt like you couldn't do it. It felt impossible. Remember, it's just an illusion, impossible. But you felt like you couldn't do it, and there was a mental block, and you didn't even try. You kind of just looked at me and went, ah, and you all kind of did this slight wobble. That's the universal sign for giving up. And then let me ask you another question. How did you then feel when I asked you to change one thing about your appearance? How did you feel? Oh, it's easy. There was no mental block. And all of a sudden, you just went ahead, you changed one thing. Some of you even had fun. And let me ask you this. How did you then feel when I asked you to change one more thing? How did you feel? Oh, I got this. Oh, this is easy. You didn't think about it. You just, again, having a good time now. You just changed one more thing, and again, some of us had more fun. I promise you, if I had more time and I wanted to bore you to death, I could have stood up here and said, change one more thing, change one more thing, change one more thing, times 33. Every single one of you would have changed 33 things about your appearance, whether you initially believed it couldn't be done or not. So what does that tell us about the impossible? All we have to do is take things one step at a time. My friends, you now know your beliefs dictate your actions, but let's really bring this together. Because where do our beliefs come from? Where do our beliefs come from about what's possible for us as an individual? Where does our beliefs come from about what's possible for us as a professional? Where do they come from? Our beliefs come from the top 5 people we spend time with. You change your top 5, changes your beliefs, changes your actions, changes your life. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're absolutely welcome to stand again if you'd like after. That's absolutely fine. Thank you. I'd love to share with you one last quote from Steve Jobs. Absolutely love Apple. Wonderful charity. Every 6 months you give them money and they give you an iPad. It's wonderful. It's a free transaction. It's great. And he has a wonderful quote. And just before that, if any of you would like to get any videos to improve your communication skills, my details are just there. But he has this wonderful quote where he says, those people in the world who are crazy enough to believe they can change the world, they are the people who actually do. Those of you in this room, to make it relevant, who are crazy enough to believe you can achieve everything you desire, that you too can leave your mark on this world, you are the people who actually will. Good luck. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful conference. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage Arish Mashargi.
Vin was amazing, wasn't he? That was so much fun. I want to congratulate Tanya and Holly on your Firm of the Future win, and all of our finalists, the small businesses and accounting professionals. You were amazing. I looked at every one of your submissions. I was so impressed. This concludes our accountant keynote. I want to thank you all for coming. Enjoy the next 3 days. Know that the breakout sessions are going to get kicked off at 11:15, so you got a full hour for those sessions as is. I encourage you all to connect with each other, to come visit us at the booth, and to let us know what you think. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the 3 days.